Hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what it do? And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I just want to start this video off by just expressing how grateful I am for everyone who has been watching my videos, subscribing, liking, for someone who's just starting out and who didn't even know if anyone would be interested in what I had to say. I'm super duper grateful. If you have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see, please feel free to comment below because these videos are for you guys. Now I am going to do my very first story time, and it is about my first date with a Korean guy. So the backstory to this is I was out with my friends, and she's Korean, so those were my Korean friends, and we went to Valve. And we were chilling, we were hanging out, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, hey, my friend really likes you, you know, but he's really shy. He wants to talk to you though. I was like, okay, fine. So his friend came over and he didn't really have much to say, but we did exchange cacaos. So we did that much. And then his friend tried to talk to my friend, but she was all the way not down for it. She was just like, absolutely, positively not. You're canceled. Get out of here. After the guy went away, whatever, my friend, she looks at him, always trust your Korean friend. This is going to be a lesson. Always trust your Korean friend. She goes to me, his face doesn't look good. And I'm like, you mean he's like ugly? She's like, no, like, I mean, his face doesn't look, he doesn't look like kind. Like, his face looks bad, as in he looks like a bad guy. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think anything was gonna come of it. The next day, he texted me, and he was like trying to set up a date with me. Honestly, that week I was sick. He had been trying to set something up with me, and I canceled on him. Fast forward to my birthday weekend, and I was out at this club, Kiki's. And the music was really lit. Like, they played some nice music, even like dropped a 1-2, like moving on. So we're dancing, we're turning up, we're having all the fun, and I was on my way to the bathroom, and there was this guy, and he was like sturdy, like he was like nice and strong, and he was kind of cute. I'm like, let me get your cacao. I don't know where this brave moment came from. Guys, I was trying to get his cacao. Yo, when I went to go put his cacao into my phone, we already had each other. Damn! Because he was the guy from Valve like 2 months ago that I kind of like stood up, and I was like, oh. And later on, I saw this girl, and she was trying to undo this guy's zipper in the club to look like she was trying to give him some fellatio. I was just like, oh, hell no. So like Dr. Sabo, I swooped in, and I was like, girl, you are better than this. No. She's like, thank you. And she's like, all over herself. Like, you're wild, bro. You are wild. You're a wildin', dog. And when I look at the guy, he has a shirt off at this point, arms in the air, dancing. I look at the guy, I look at his face, I'm like, oh, this is the guy that I already knew from before and that I met by the bathroom. I walk away, and I'm there, and I'm like, dancing, whatever, and he comes over and he's like dancing near me, and then he's dancing with me, and I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. Monday I heard from him, and he messaged me, and we set something up. We set up a date to go get food. So we met up and we went to somewhere near me. I live by a very popular meat street, so we kind of just went on the meat street, and I have no issues with that because barbecue is live on me. Anyways, we're driving around in his car, and it became very evident to me very quickly that he didn't understand a lot of what I was saying. And but he spoke English, he just wasn't picking up on a lot of the things. Like, he would be just nodding yes. And anyone who lives in Korea knows that, like, a lot of the time, if a Korean person doesn't understand what you're saying, they'll just say yes. Anyways, so he asked me, he's like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Canada. He's like, oh, okay, but where are you from? And I'm like, did I not just answer? I'm from Canada, like Toronto. Like, do you know Toronto? He's like, oh, but you know, a lot of people, they come from other countries. And I'm like, okay. My family is from Jamaica. So that already struck me as odd. Like, why are you asking me where I'm from? I was born in Canada, the province of Ontario and the city of Toronto. What do you need from me? But I just let it go. I was just like, okay, whatever, bye. We picked a restaurant, just a random restaurant, and he's like, oh, do you want some soju? And I'm just like, this is kind of weird that we're drinking on a date. But I'm like, then again, Korean people usually drink with their barbecue or their meals or whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. So he's still talking to me. And he's like, oh, have you ever dated a Korean guy before? I'm like, oh no. He's like, yeah, you're the first black girl I've ever talked to. Like, why are you leading with that? I'm like, okay. But he was on his phone a lot. Like, he kept on checking his phone. He was on it nonstop. It was really actually annoying. And I was like, do you have somewhere to be? Like, I don't understand. He's like, oh, no, it's just work. So he was outside talking on the phone to whoever. And he came back in and... this is just the best freaking part. He's looking at my hair and he's like, your hair is such an interesting texture. And I'm like, okay. Then he's like, oh, can I touch your hair? And I'm like, so first you want to ask me where I'm really from. Then you want to tell me I'm the first black girl you've ever talked to. Now you want to ask me if you could touch my hair. That's gonna be a no for me, dog. That's gonna be a no for me. But fortunately, he was one of those wonderful people who ask you something like, can I touch your insert thing here, and reaches for it at the same time. So unfortunately, I couldn't even really say no because he was already touching my hair and just in between his fingers. To the no. Like, at this point, I just felt like an animal in the zoo. Like, he was just touching me. He was asking me all types of questions. He was just like, I don't even know. Like, it was a hot mess. Then we were getting ready to leave. So mind you, he had driven to where we were at, and I was kind of confused as to how he was gonna get home because he was drinking quite a bit of soju. I'm just like, so are you driving because you've been drinking? And he's like, oh, no, there's pretty much a car service that will send someone to come pick up your car and drop you home. And then he goes to me, will I come to your home now? I'm like, excuse me? Oh, will I come home with you now? What the hell? Why? I looked at him and was like, no. He's like, oh, okay. Who does that? Because you took me out to get some food, all of a sudden that grants you access to my home? Like, absolutely not. It was just super awkward at that point. I was like, yeah, okay, bye. And I like left. And the next day, I didn't hear from him. And the day after that, I didn't hear from him. That whole situation was a hot mess. I was just like, okay, so yeah, as I said, I never heard from him again because obviously I wasn't giving the goodies. That's pretty much my story time of the first time I went on a date with a Korean guy. So if you enjoyed this story time, or if you just want to see more videos about Korea related videos, you should definitely subscribe to my channel. Also, leave your comments below. Have you ever encountered a boy like this who was just trying to come home with you? Or just tell me your weird, crazy date stories. I would love to read about them in the comments. So tell a friend, hashtag support the man damn. I can't wait to see you next time, and peace and love and annyeong.